Okay, so this collective is really not, you're not feeling your best. You're really not feeling your best. And you could be feeling really fatigued, drained, feel like you're walking through sand, is the term that I heard. You feel like you have a weight on your body keeping you from moving or taking action, and it feels like it's beyond your control, okay? Spirit is saying that this is coming from some childhood memories, specifically around the time you were about 8 to 9 years old. There's also something about grade school, when you were in grade school at that time, something about a cafeteria. This is different for everybody. This is a collective reading, but just sharing the different confirmations for different people. So there's your inner child is trapped in a memory. I wrote down the message here, and then after I'm going to pull some cards just to get some confirmation and clarity. But basically, your inner child is trapped in a memory. This memory is more of like an emotion, and it's of the feeling of longing, wishing, and hoping. And there's this like energy that you're struggling with right now. It's like a stagnancy and a stuckness, and this is rooted in your solar plexus. Okay, so your sense of self-worth, your inner power, boundaries. And I saw this image of like a wooden fence, and your inner child was outside the wooden fence, and over the wooden fence was like a whole bunch of like swimming pools and like kid toys and like, you know, basically a fun time, you know. And I asked Spirit, like, why is this inner child, inner you, outside of the gate? And interestingly, Spirit said that this is actually about somebody giving you the silent treatment. Somebody gave you the silent treatment, and this triggered you. So you could have dealt with very emotionally unavailable parents or relationships, siblings, friends. You know, this could be more than one situation, but there is a situation recently that has triggered you to that old, or that younger version of you, I should say. And this silent treatment that was like put upon you by this person or persons when you were younger was a form of manipulation. It was a form of abandonment, but in the form of like abandoning you so that they could manipulate you to chase them, if that makes sense. So that they could feel wanted and feel like they have the upper hand in this situation, right? Just so they could feel better about themselves, that they could feel worthy, because if you're chasing them, they feel worthy, right? And so it was a way to keep you small in a way to make them feel better, their ego feel better. And you know, I don't even think that they consciously were aware that they were doing this. Maybe they were aware that they were doing this, and it was like mind game for them. And this is something that has been happening to you since you were young, and like Spirit is like making that clear in the message when I meditated, is like, this happened to you when you were younger, but it became just like a cycle of like a lot of your relationships or like people that you have been surrounded by have done this to you. Okay, so what Spirit is saying is that they withheld love and affection from you, and so you learn to do that to yourself as like self-punishment as well. And so Spirit is saying that like what's really being needed from your inner child right now, because your inner child is triggered, and the only way to like reparent this part of you is to respond differently, because the way that you used to respond is self-abandoning. So when you would get abandoned, and when you would get, you know, the silent treatment, you would naturally do that to yourself, and you'd abandon yourself. And so Spirit is saying you have to respond differently now. And I feel like you know this. I feel like you have been. I feel like this is like, you know, something that you have been working on for a long time now. And this is, you know, most likely just another layer, but it's like the root layer of this wound. Okay. And Spirit is saying, like, you have to forgive yourself. Don't internalize their silence. So whatever situation that you're dealing with right now, that somebody has went silent on you, or you can feel their distance, or whatever the situation is, whether it be a family member, friend, whatever, whoever it was, it has triggered the hell out of you. Okay. And so Spirit is saying, don't internalize their silence. Okay. Because your inner child, when they went silent, it's like your higher self, your adult self, like, knows that it's not about you, but your inner child, like, when it happened, it like re-triggered your inner child. And so it's kind of like the energies that you're feeling, the shadow energy that you're feeling, this fatigue and drain and this like just feeling stuckness, it's not the you now, but it like re-traumatized, not re-traumatized, but like it triggered your inner child. So your inner child is at the forefront now, dealing with those emotions, and it's like being brought to the surface. Okay. So it's like these emotions that you've had to deal with, like in the past when you were given the silent treatment, it's all coming up to your face now, and like saying, hey, look at me, let's respond to this differently now. Okay. Spirit is saying, don't go silent on yourself. Do not go silent on yourself. This is imperative, that the silent treatment that you were given to get you to chase or to feel that like longing feeling, like you're always it's like these people or person that like gave you the silent treatment or abandoned you. It's almost like I mentioned before, they wanted you to chase them so that they could feel good, better about themselves, or more worthy. Because what really happened is, before they gave you the silent treatment, you triggered them into triggered their self-worth wound. So their response is a silent treatment to get you to chase them so that they could feel better about themselves, right? And I digress, but like basically Spirit is saying, do not go silent on yourself right now. You may be feeling like a desire, like a pull to like hold on, excuse me. Okay, sorry, I had to blow my nose because my nose always gets runny when I'm channeling. Okay, so I don't remember where I was, but basically, do not go silent on yourself. You may be feeling like a tendency or desire to stop expressing yourself, and you're kind of just like in your own little world, and you're kind of just shut down. Okay, like notice that and try to do the exact opposite, even though it feels literally almost impossible to do. Like, you have to fight that urge to go silent on yourself, and you have to do pretty much the opposite of everything you used to do in the past. You have to do everything, like, you have to act as if they hadn't gone silent on you. Like, you have to do everything you were already doing before that happened, before that triggered you. Okay. And like, it's basically telling your inner child, like, hey, we deserve to feel good. We deserve to have fun. We deserve to express ourselves and love ourselves. And we're not going to abandon ourselves just because we were, or feel abandoned. Right. So the other message here is to take them off a pedestal. This person that went silent on you, or these people, it may have also triggered you because you see them as people that, you know, maybe you're really close to, people that you really love. And the reason why you're internalizing this so much, or it's easier to internalize a situation like this when you really care about the people that are ghosting you or going silent on you, right? And so Spirit is saying to take them off a pedestal, because no one is worth lowering or silencing yourself for. Okay. So Spirit said, don't self-abandon. And yeah, the other message here, I think I already mentioned this, but you're fighting the urge to abandon yourself, your goals, responsibilities, because of this one that's being triggered. So I have my Lantern Oracle deck. This deck really, I use it when it's like shadow work stuff, or like when there's a message that needs to come out, you know. And so let's just see what comes out with this deck about this message. Spirit, what do they need to know? What does the collective need to know about this situation? I swear, the cards that come out: radical self-love and metamorphosis. The bottom of the deck, emptied. Yeah, bottom of the deck. This is how you're feeling right now. This is the ending and beginning lie at either side at the same door. This card is really about, it's like new beginnings, but it's like a sense of loss as well. Like when you're losing a part of yourself, there is a feeling of like grief, you know. And yeah, so this message about radical self-love: we can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. And the metamorphosis: power and strength lie within our surrender to change. So this just really like gives confirmation on what we just talked about, like self-love and changing the way that you respond to situations. And like literally it's a surrender to change. Like maybe it feels really uncomfortable for you to respond differently to this, because it's like this has been happening for a really long time. So this is a really deep wound that is needing your attention right now and your care. And let's get some more confirmation and clarity. I'm gonna pause it. All right, I went ahead and shuffled and shuffled one more time. All right, Spirit, what is it that this collective, is there anything else this collective needs to know at this time, Spirit? Anything else this collective needs to know for their highest and greatest good? Like you may be fighting your self-sabotaging behaviors heavily right now. And I actually feel like this is coming up because this is part of the reason why, this is part of, it's like a trigger for you. Like you abandoning yourself has been a self-sabotage. And so it's like as you're working through your self-sabotage tendencies, like this is coming up and this is being highlighted for you to see when you self-sabotage the most, like when you abandon yourself the most. And the reason why this has to be healed is because I feel like whoever I'm talking to, like I feel like you have a high purpose and you are needing to be in a position where you have to not only show up for yourself, but you have to show up for others. Maybe you have a business, maybe you have a family, maybe you have, you know, maybe you're a manager, or, you know, like I said, you own a business of some kind, or you're being called to take on more responsibility in some capacity, right? And it's like, if you, like this can't come with you, right? Like this has to, you have to get over this tendency to abandon yourself. This is like building inner strength because, and this is going to help you so that like nothing can stop you from continuing to take care of yourself and what you need to work on, like, if that makes sense. Is there anything else, Spirit, from this? I'm gonna pause it so it's not too long. Okay, so the card that came out was release. So yeah, like we said, you know, like you're releasing a lot right now. Like you're releasing a lot, and you could be feeling really emotional as well. Bottom of the deck, I just saw this. Take charge. Leadership and self-discipline are required to take control of your life. Literally what I just said. So it's like, and have compassion for yourself right now. Like you are definitely going through, you know, what you're facing about yourself is not easy. Okay, it's not something that is just like something you can easily overcome. Okay, this is a very deep wound, and it's going to require a lot of effort on your part to work through this and to change the narrative physically too. And it's like, I feel like you're being called to, it's like there's a difference between doing shadow work emotionally and mentally, like when you're writing out, you know, and you're releasing false beliefs, like as you're like journaling and you're realizing, you're becoming aware of certain things about yourself. But it's a whole nother level when you have to change what you're doing to show up for yourself physically, or like when you have to make changes physically. It's like one thing when you're doing it mentally and you know what you have to do, and then it's a whole nother thing when you have to actually like put in the work physically, when your whole entire body is just like not wanting to do that. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna leave the reading right here because I feel like, yeah, this just popped out. Retreat. I feel like this is how you feel. You just want to retreat. Like you don't want to be talking to people. You don't want to be seen. You're just like, you know, there's such an urge to abandon yourself and just close off because of what this has triggered for you. But really the only way out is to respond differently, no matter how freaking hard it is, okay? But yeah, you are not alone. You know, Spirit is giving you the strength and guiding you and helping you in every step of the way, even if it doesn't feel like it. And I hope this message has helped you and reaches you exactly when it's meant to. I trust that it will. Have a good day.